Welcome tech enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into how to downgrade from Windows 11 back to Windows 10. This process will help you reinstall Windows 10 while keeping your activation intact. Let's jump right in and get you back to the familiar Windows 10 interface. First, we need to get our hands on the Windows 10 installation file. Fire up your preferred browser and in the search bar, type download Windows 10 and hit enter. Look for the top result that leads to Microsoft's download page. That's our target. Now, when we land on Microsoft's website, you might notice there's no direct download button for the ISO file. Don't worry, there are actually two ways we can get the Windows 10 installation ISO file. The first method involves changing your browser's user agent, which will show you a different download page. I've got a detailed video walking through that process. You'll find the link in the description below. But today, we'll be using the second method, Microsoft's Media Creation Tool. This approach is more straightforward and officially supported by Microsoft. Look for the blue Download It Now button and give it a click. Choose where you want to save the tool. Your Downloads folder is usually a good spot. Once the download completes, locate that file and launch it. The first thing you'll see is the license terms. Take a moment to read through them if you'd like. When you're ready, click Accept to move forward. Now we're at an important decision point. The tool presents us with two options: upgrade this PC now, or create installation media for another PC. Let me explain the difference between these choices. While both options will ultimately get you to the same destination, which is Windows 10 on your PC, they take slightly different paths. The first option, upgrade this PC now, is the direct route. It downloads Windows 10 and immediately kicks off the installation process. The second option, create installation media, gives you more flexibility by letting you download an ISO file or create a USB installer. Keep in mind that regardless of which method you choose, this process will wipe your current Windows 11 setup during the downgrade, so it's absolutely crucial to back up all your important files before proceeding. For this tutorial, I'm going to select the second option just to show you how to get and use an ISO file. Go ahead and click Next to continue. On the following screen, we'll configure the Windows 10 installation settings. You'll see options for language, edition, and architecture. If you're happy with the settings that are automatically detected for your PC, you can leave the checkbox selected that says Use the recommended options for this PC. However, if you need to customize any of these settings, maybe you want a different language or edition, simply uncheck that box and make your selections manually. Click Next, and now we'll choose our media type. We have two options here: USB flash drive or ISO file. The USB option creates a bootable drive, but you'll need at least 8 GB of storage space. The ISO file option downloads everything as a single file that you can mount later as a virtual CD drive. Since we're going with the ISO option today, select that and click Next. The tool will now ask where you want to save your ISO file. Choose a location that you'll remember. This file is going to be quite large, so make sure you've got enough space available. The download will start, and then the tool will verify and create the Windows 10 media file. This process usually takes a while, but I'll speed through this part for our tutorial. When the process completes, click Finish. Now, let's locate that ISO file we just created. Once you find it, right-click on the file and select Mount from the context menu. Windows will open the mounted media file automatically, treating it like a virtual DVD drive. Inside the mounted drive, you'll see several files. Look for setup.exe and double-click to launch it. The Windows Setup program will now start preparing to install Windows 10. During this preparation phase, it will check for and download any necessary updates, drivers, or additional files to ensure a smooth installation process. You'll notice a link where you can adjust how updates are handled. While you can customize these settings, I recommend keeping updates enabled. It typically results in a more reliable installation experience. Once the preparation is complete, click Next to continue. Now we need to wait a moment while it prepares everything. Before we can install, there are a couple of last steps we need to complete. First, we have to agree to the license terms. Take a moment to read through them if you'd like, and if you agree, press Accept to continue. On the next page, you'll be asked what you want to keep. However, since this is a downgrade installation from Windows 11 to Windows 10, we don't have any other options besides nothing. This means the installation will completely wipe your existing Windows 11 setup and start fresh with Windows 10. Let's give it another moment while it prepares the installation files. This brings us to the final step before starting the actual downgrade process. This is your last chance to make sure all your important files are backed up. I can't stress enough how crucial this is. When you're absolutely certain you're ready, click the Install button to begin. The installation process will now start. This is going to take quite a while. I'll speed through this part in our tutorial, but when you're doing this yourself, expect it to take some time. Perfect. Now we've reached the configuration stage. First up, we need to choose our region. Take a moment to select where you live from the list. One nice thing about this step is that it helps Windows automatically set things like your time zone and regional formats. Click Yes to confirm your selection. Next, we'll set up your keyboard layout. Choose the appropriate option for your keyboard. For most English speakers, this will be US or UK layout. Click Yes to continue. At this point, Windows offers you the option to add a secondary keyboard layout. This can be useful if you regularly type in multiple languages, but if you don't need this feature, just click Skip. skip. We'll need to wait again while Windows processes these settings. When it's done, you'll see a screen asking how you want to set up this device. You have two options here: set up for personal use or set up for an organization. Let me explain the difference. Set up for personal use is perfect for individual users who want complete control over their device and plan to manage it with a personal Microsoft account. On the other hand, set up for an organization is designed for work or school environments where you need access to organizational resources like company email, apps, and networks. Since this is a personal device, we'll select Set up for personal use. Click Next to proceed. Now we're at the sign-in screen. This is where you can connect your Microsoft account to access various services like OneDrive and Office. Signing in at this stage is particularly important because it helps transfer your Windows license key automatically if it's linked to your Microsoft account. This ensures your activation carries over without any hassle. While there is an offline account option at the bottom for those who prefer not to connect to Microsoft services, I recommend signing in for the smoothest experience with license transfer and syncing features. I'm going to go ahead and sign in with my Microsoft account here. Next up, you will be asked to create a PIN for fast and secure sign-in to your device. This PIN is part of Windows Hello and works exclusively on this device, staying offline for enhanced security. Click Create PIN, and you'll be taken to a screen where you can set up your PIN. You can use numbers only, or optionally include letters and symbols. I recommend using a PIN as it's actually more secure than a traditional password since it's tied specifically to your device. I'll go ahead and enter my PIN, then enter it again to confirm they match. Once they're entered correctly, click OK to proceed. Now you'll see a screen about syncing your browsing data to Microsoft Edge. This includes things like your favorites and browsing history from other browsers. You can click Accept to enable sync right away, making all your data available in Edge. If you'd rather skip this for now, just click Not Now. You'll still be able to use Edge normally. Next up are your privacy settings. This screen lets you customize various privacy features like location services, diagnostic data collection, tailored experiences, and advertising preferences. For each option, you can toggle yes or no based on your preferences. For example, enabling location lets apps like weather and maps know where you are, while advertising ID allows for personalized ads. Take a moment to adjust these settings. Don't worry, you can always change them later in system settings. Once you're satisfied with your choices, click Accept to continue. The next screen helps personalize your device by understanding how you'll use it. You'll see various categories like entertainment, gaming, school, and business. Check the boxes that match your intended use. If you'd rather skip personalization altogether, just click Skip. Otherwise, make your selections and click Accept. Now, Windows offers to link your Android phone to your PC. This enables cool features like making calls, sending texts, and using mobile apps right from your computer. You can either follow the setup instructions to link your phone now, select Remind Me Later to set it up another time, or choose No Thanks to decline completely. For now, let's click Remind Me Later so we can finish the main setup first. Here comes an offer for Microsoft 365 Family Free Trial, which includes access to apps like Word, Excel, and OneDrive. If you click Continue, you'll need to provide payment details, and charges will start after 1 month unless you cancel. If you're not interested, just click Decline to skip this offer. The next window presents Microsoft 365 Basic, offering extra cloud storage, Outlook access, and technical support. You can click Continue if you want these features. But for now, let's click Decline to move forward without subscribing. Now we've got an offer for PC Game Pass. We'll skip this one. Click No Thanks to proceed. Next, you'll see a prompt to enable Cortana for assistance. However, it's worth noting that Cortana's functionality is now limited and less central to Windows, as Microsoft has shifted its focus to AI-powered tools like Copilot. Click Not Now to continue. We'll need to wait again while Windows completes the final setup steps. And we're in. We've successfully downgraded from Windows 11 to Windows 10. Let's quickly verify our license activation. Perfect. There it is, transferred automatically along with our Microsoft account. And there you have it, tech enthusiasts. If you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more tech tips and tricks. Until next time, enjoy your Windows 10 experience.